primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Hello everybody and welcome to some more Encore Overwatch action on your beautiful fall Sunday. Hopefully you're wherever you've been, you've had a great Sunday today. Certainly we have. As you can see, we're wearing our football attire, you know, some good old football Sunday going on. Able to sit back, relax, and watch the old sports ball, as it were. I'm Ariel. Alongside me I have Gorbacheese. Gorbacheese, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing excellent. I got a call late after the Vikings won in overtime, and I knew that tonight's going to be a good night, so I got to get into this casting booth to continue on the fun.
Absolutely. So speaking of fun, we've had a lot of fun already. This is our first week of 2 weeks of the Encore Overwatch Fall Mini-Tourney. Let's take a look at some of the action that's already happened this week for our Fall Mini-Tourney. Friday, Aquatic knocked off TAMU White 3-2, and then yesterday, Celestial Wind put down SS Nautilus to the tune of 3-0. And so tonight, we will see our first elimination of the tournament. TAMU White, SS Nautilus fighting for their very tournament lives and a chance to run the gamut down in the losers bracket. And then whoever wins this match will next week face the loser of Aquatic and Celestial Wind. So whoever you're getting in that match is going to be very tough, but at least you got to worry about this one first. So
yeah, this is where dreams are made. First of all, we're going to take a look at TAMU White here. A lot of the same players coming back from last time. They put a hell of a performance into that match last week on Friday. But what I really want to look at here is a lot of this tank lineup. This tank lineup pulled out a lot of surprise plays that really pushed Aquatic into 5 maps. Without some of the things that happened, like that Earth Shadow that we saw on King's Row, that would have been a very early ejection, and we would not be talking about them like we are now. Looking at SS Nautilus, we've got almost a complete roster change. Just Honor and Hot Hands coming back, but hey, Honor and Hot Hands well overperformed, and we're winning several of the duels against Celestial Wind yesterday. Kind of excited to see if they can quickly develop some sort of cohesion with these new players.
Absolutely. It will be very interesting to see kind of how they, and maybe this might be even their main roster, and what we saw were some, ringers, as it were. But it'll be very interesting to see how they can respond going down 3-0 against Celestial Wind and against a TAMU White team that looked very, very good despite losing in their opening match. So once again, our map pool will start with, oops, that was the wrong thing. Y'all don't need to see that. How about the map pool, not the game? Yeah, that's the lobby. All right, map pool, Dorado. Once again, you know it, you love it. We've seen 2 great instances of Dorado. I think yesterday's game went all of the way. We had some bonus Overwatch for that. And then once again, losers will pick map going forward after Dorado. So it'll be very interesting. We've seen quite a few interesting picks, and it's always fun to see how teams play to what they choose. And so for our first match, we generally saw that the team that chose the map ended up winning, except for Aquatic managed to pull it out, I think, on Havana, really flipping the script against TAMU White. However, last night, not quite the case for SS Nautilus, getting 0-3'd there in that match.
Yeah, you never enjoy to be 3-0'd, but you can at least come into this match completely forgetting about it. You gotta know, TAMU White also lost their first map. The scoreboard doesn't really care too much when you're on the losing side of it. So, you come into this, fresh mindset, you need to be able to overcome these kind of mental blocks that go into you. Otherwise, how can you expect to beat another team?
Absolutely. And just the very, the fact that this tournament is so quick, having only 4 teams, and the fact that you can get eliminated today, you really need to have that mental fortitude. And you can't think about, well, man, if I don't make this play, we're going to go home until, after the cards have been laid down on the table.
Yeah, looking like we're still missing a few players from TAMU White. So just going to take a little bit of time to really think about what really happened in our previous 2 matches here. I found it interesting that it felt like most maps, they would go straight from Dorado, and then both teams wanted to go Lijiang Tower. I almost wonder, is that because of the popularity of Lijiang Tower, or is that because of these teams were having set plays and understanding what their strengths were?
Lijiang Tower is, I guess you could say it's really good control map overall. I think why teams like it a lot is it can be very chaotic, and the stall potential on certain stages of that map are absolutely insane. And it really has each distinctive section of the map has different, I would argue, different play styles that you can utilize. Whether it be control center, where things tend to work out being a little bit more brawly in some of that closed off corridors and hallways, and especially the narrow chokes that you have to go through in order just to get to some of those hallways. And then some of the other like gardens that you can have a little bit more to work around. There's also some great environmental opportunities. We saw some great environmental kills was it yesterday? I think we might have seen it yesterday.
I think 2 weeks ago, 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
Weeks.
So, and allowing a little bit more of a dive compositions. And so just having these different disparities between each stage of the map can really let you show your full potential and kind of assert dominance, if you will, if you're trying to really eke out a big win.
It looks like I'm getting a bit of a different message here. It looks like when on the side where I said that a lot of their players are different, apparently the players are the same players just on different accounts here. So they're going to be coming in with
Fair enough.
the same main tank and the same main support player as they did last night.
Okay. So not quite
Nautilus will, excuse me.
Okay, yeah, not quite the complete turnaround, which is always nice. But still a couple of new players, so it should be, or I should say different, maybe not necessarily new, different players. But still, we'll have to see exactly what they bring to the table today.
So hopefully a bit of a new, different flavor here. I would kind of like to see if some of these teams could try and push into some of our other maps in this pool. I think that maps like Nepal and Oasis that we didn't get to see in our previous 2 matches, those maps have such incredibly different points from point to point. I think of Oasis City Center, which is this long, wide open map, and then you can go right into University, which is short and condensed. It really forces teams to be able to know how to play all these different kinds of compositions.
And just thinking about it, it's like Oasis is kind of somewhat similar in Lijiang in that way, where you have a couple of maps that are a little bit more open, and then you have that one where Brawl works really well. Things are a little bit more closed off, and then lending to those different play styles, which is always very fun to have that variety. Because even playing in the same map, it can kind of sometimes get old. It's like, oh, it's this map again. As to Control, where you have different stages of the map that you can enjoy each time that you play it. So, being that this is a losers round match, let's start with TAMU White. In your opinion, what does TAMU White need to do and or improve upon from their loss on Friday in order to take out SS Nautilus?
Well, TAMU White, they have a lot of really strong mechanical players. And it just feels like a lot of what they need to figure out is their ultimate rotations, being able to understand this fight's already over. We have just secured half the other team as being eliminated. So why is it that we're investing a Mei ult here or a nano boost here? And it felt like a lot of that felt as though most of their team fight wins were coming off the back of just puking ultimates into the other team. Now, what I want to see this time around is for them to find quick, efficient teamfight wins. Being able to win off the back of just an Earth Shatter, or just a Diva Bomb, or maybe even comboing 2 different ultimates. Maybe you nano the monkey and at the same time you EMP. But what will really hurt this team is if they go in, use 4 different ultimates to win a fight, to the other team using 0.
Yeah, it seems like that is a very big trap for a lot of these teams. And whether it just a cause of the meta where we're at, or just the skill range that we're at, you find that a lot of times ultimates aren't necessarily used in a cohesive manner as well as they potentially could be, and so that kind of leads up to oh, I'm going to use my ult now because each player is thinking this would be a great time to use my ultimate, and then both sides keep firing back and forth, and next thing you know, you've drained 3-4 ultimates. And you've either lost the fight or you've won the fight, but you've lost the overall war when you go into the next fight, whether you're on offense or defense. And it really is truly a thing of beauty, being able to see teams cycle those ultimates to where, you know, you're using 1-2 ultimates at a time, and by the time that, you know, you cycle through each team fight, the ultimates that you used at the start have eventually come back up, and you just keep, you know, getting into that rhythm. So that is something that will be very key, not just for TAMU White, but also for SS Nautilus, is getting that and finding that rhythm. And doing a lot of pre-fight planning in order to achieve that balance. And so now I'm going to flip the script on you here. So from, you know, instead of TAMU White, let's take a look at SS Nautilus. Definitely, again, 3-0. It wasn't quite, you know, a pub stomp. There were some points where SS Nautilus looked like they were handling things that Celestial Wind was throwing at them, even though the 3-0 scoreline, you know, would indicate potentially otherwise. But what did they have to do against this TAMU White team to avoid going home?
Even as strong as Celestial Wind looked yesterday, SS Nautilus was able to match them in every single 6v6 fights that they would take. And they would trade blow for blow. Aaron would somehow find 2, and then Hot Hands would kill 3 on the other end. The problems that they were running into was, as soon as Celestial Wind would win a team fight, they would then continue the team fight and continue to get kills well past where the fight took place. I think back to King's Row yesterday, where they would win a fight, they would kill 4 of the players, and while 2 of the SS Nautilus players would be trying to escape, Celestial Wind was already pushing 2 points ahead, not caring where the cart was, making sure that they can secure as much free space as they can possibly gain, not letting SS Nautilus breathe for even a second. And so I want to see them be able to either all die at the same time so that they can reset their entire team as one, or be able to escape cleanly and efficiently and not get caught out after the fight is over.
Absolutely. And was it King's Row where we saw some Bastion strats from Celestial Wind yesterday?
Yes, it was. That Bastion strat. It seemed as though Celestial Wind has been working on that strat for a very long time. With slight modifications here and there. I know the Pharah is a new thing, and that wasn't in there originally. But what we saw yesterday is that SS Nautilus, they were able to play into it properly. They were able to make sure that that Bastion Pharah could not generate correct off angles. But when it came down to actually doing the team fight, it seemed as though their hero prowess just wasn't quite up to code there. Or the tank line of Celestial Wind just completely pushed it over there. And so I want to see them not only make the in-game adjustments like they did, where they were able to swap into the heroes to be able to properly prevent that kind of composition, but then also have an understanding of positioning and of when to use cooldowns to be able to prevent what happened to them.
Yeah, that is absolutely spot on, and something that I was going to touch on as well. Is they seem to have step 1 down. You know, they saw the Bastion, they got underneath the Bastion, and you know, they also saw the Pharah, and they tried to minimize those angles. However, you know, they got there, but then they didn't do anything else. You know, they properly reacted, but then once they got to that neutral ground, they had kind of countered the movement and the positioning of Celestial Wind. They didn't really come up with a solid game plan of what next. And eventually, you know, those off angles were able to continue to be generated by the DPS line of Celestial Wind, and eventually they just fell apart, not having that proactive game plan of, okay, well, we've moved, we've countered your move, and now let's go and push you out of where you want to be. So something that they're definitely going to have to do is force TAMU White into those positions where they don't want to be, and not allow them to continue to play their composition, even if you do put them in a slightly, you know, less advantaged situation with positioning.
And not to mention, that was SS Nautilus's map pick. So you see SS Nautilus picking out the map that then Celestial Wind already had a composition that they had created for that map. All those rotations, those were pre-planned. They knew exactly what they were going to do when they locked in that Bastion. It wasn't as though they went into it like, oh, we're just going to pick Bastion because we think we can roll these guys. No, they already had the set rotation set out. The Pharah rotation was also set in, and they played it perfectly. You got to wonder, when we go see Celestial Wind play on Friday night against Team Aquatic, what other maps have they set up for themselves? It looks as though we're having a bit of a DPS player difficulty on the side of TAMU White. Right, they're looking to see if a coach can play?
So that'd be interesting. I know both of these teams probably really want to play, and we'd obviously hate to see any team not be able to, at least give their best shot while going out, and then end up having to forfeit.
It looks like the last player is getting online here, so we should be getting into the match momentarily. Sorry for the little bit of a delay here.
Okay, and it looks like, yeah, that will be the DPS. Let's see, pull up, look back at the lineups to see who we are missing. And okay, I see. So yeah,
we're missing Jelly Beetle.
It looks like, yeah, Jelly Beetle is currently the one that will be substituted for. But so now that you're going to have a potentially different, well, oh, the chat's everywhere. Regardless of where they end up fitting into, how does this factor into your game plans overall if you're TAMU White? Having to, last minute put somebody else in, do you just kind of try to keep your head up, go with the current game plan, or, kind of try to take me into what maybe they're thinking right about now?
It has to be next man up mentality. You have these players in your reserve, and those players need to be ready at all times. Just because you're not considered the best player on your team, quote unquote, you can still come in when your team needs you most. You still are a part of that team. And so it is up to you, the player coming in off the bench, to be able to create these kind of opportunities. If you want to be a starter in this tournament, this is how you earn it right here. It looks like we have that last player in our lobby here now.
Looks like, yeah, we will be getting underway, which is a good sign for us. Definitely going to like getting into that action, and hopefully we can get some more juicy action, some more 5 maps, maybe even more potentially. Yeah.
Unborn Horn will be the replacement coming in. Player that we haven't seen yet in this tournament, so I'm gonna be curious to see what happens here. We don't know what kind of heroes are in his hero pool. We kind of hope that we would see them play a similar hero composition so that they don't have to change too much around what they're gonna play, but you never know. I mean, if it comes down to it, you can play the same kind of compositions and just swap out a hero here and there. I remember Celestial Wind, then Team Rocket at the time, when they played in that championship run, one of their support players had to play DPS. Yesterday we saw one of their DPS players had to play tank, and it was just, again, next man up mentality. We're going to win this map anyway, because it doesn't matter who's in here. We put in the work to get into this position, and we are going to take as much as we can.
Absolutely, and I think if I remember correctly, for assuming this is TAMU, Texas A&M University, it might not be, and if it's not, my apologies. But I believe like their football team has like this 12th man thing, to where
that's a little bit of a different thing. I feel like the 12th man is always about the fans, and our fans, they are here watching this stream. Plenty of them in here, but that's something that you're not going to hear if you're one of the players. Everything else is zoned out. It is just you and the game. You've got to find a way to make it happen.
Well, where I was going to go with that was that I think it was like a legendary Texas A&M coach had this 12th man mentality to where if one of your starting 11 went down, the 12th man would go in there, and it's the next guy up, no matter who, no matter what. You're going in there, you're playing the game, and the same thing here for TAMU White. You basically have to
very similar mentality.
Yeah, just get up in there, get it done, and hopefully you can come out with a victory here, because you certainly do not want to go home in this losers round 1 match.
Looks like we're gonna get that double shield coming out here on the side of blue. Blue team is TAMU White. Red team is SS Nautilus. First team to attack will be Nautilus. Looks like we're gonna see a double shield versus that dive variant again, like we saw from Friday night. Slight variation though. Instead of the Hanzo, Unborn Horn's gonna come out here on the Echo. This is that kind of thing that I was talking about, where he doesn't have probably the exact same hero pool, but the adaptations are gonna come into place here. As here comes the shield war. Our Juka shield's gonna go down very quickly. All this poke coming in. Then Winston gets rocked immediately, is not able to build any kind of charge. Sully, set on fire, gonna have to use that payload for cover. And here comes the dive onto the back line. Find lots of damage being put into the tank line of TAMU White. And they're just going to have to retreat and go play the choke. But that gives the high ground here to SS Nautilus. Now they can choose. Are they going to jump from this bridge or are they going to jump from the other side? Jump, comes back in out of the back line. But the Winston is all by himself. He's going to get burned down immediately. Ashy reses hot hands, but with your main take down, I don't see her going to be able to take an engage here. TAMU White not opting to take this high ground back from them, and Boostio's going to take down Honor. See, those are the types of plays that we saw really kill them yesterday, where one player would die way later after the fight, now getting so much more time bank in favor of TAMU White.
You just need a harder disengage there if you're SS Nautilus. Otherwise, you're risking these DPS players finding you.
Bob coming in behind the point, gonna not give anywhere safe to play as the ball gets anti-nated. Okay, the tag team are going down dangerously low. Hole comes in onto Boostio, but he's able to get away. Okay. See, it seems as though this double shield comp is going to get a lot of value from the team comp going on forever and ever. Just getting to do lots of damage from afar. Honor takes down Unborn Horn though. Man advantage to SS Nautilus as the fight continues to push in. Honor finds the second one, knocks the Stalkers down. They're going to be a lot more difficult without your main healer. Mercy is not going to be able to keep up their entire team, but Mercy uses her ultimate, able to get more out of this. Riptide with the flux, gonna pull 3 up, kills Ashy, and there goes the port line. TAMU White managed to turn the fight all over. Copy onto the Sigma. Honor, they're trying to be able to turn this fight, get a flux of his own. Unborn Horn under a lot of pressure. Sigma Flux lifts up 2. Nano goes on to Unborn Horn to save them, but it's not gonna be enough. The Sigma Flux falling directly into the minefield. Doesn't matter how much health you have, you're not gonna be able to survive that. Four minutes and 5 seconds here for point 2.
Going into this next fight, a little bit of a dry fight here. You'll have maybe 2 ultimates for TAMU White, 1 on the side of SS Nautilus. So it'll be about just kind of the opening little engage that you have, whether or not you can find some picks. Oh no. That one gamer unable to stay alive, and so if you're SS Nautilus, now would probably be the time to get out. As you know, TAMU White's going to try to take positional advantage here and find another pick to just stall things out even further.
Looks like SS Nautilus is going to go ahead and try to take that other high ground. Just take the time to set up while they wait for their main tank. Devo is going to get as much card break as he can. She'll be able to escape. Unborn Horn builds up the rest of his copy. He's probably going to look to use that as engage here. Bob can stall out this point. Big ultimate advantage in favor of TAMU White as the pressure starts going out into the Diva. They're not going to be able to push this point for free. Anti-Skid gets completely melted. No more mech, no more Wrecking Ball, but the rest comes in another Wrecking Ball. It is now 5v5 in favor, but the Res is going to go ahead and give that mana advantage right back to TAMU White. Bob just saw the card out. Oh. It just seems like they're just waiting around way too long here. Kills, they were already down 3, but they just stuck around for much too long.
Once again, that one gamer on the ball getting picked very early. So might have to find either a different angle of attack or something to let them stay alive a little bit longer here.
Both tanks are forced off the high ground. Now onto an equal playing field. They're going to force the dive pretty soon here. The ball and the Tracer are looking to take an engage onto these players on the low ground. Nano comes in on the Tracer. They're going to look for Juka. Juka's anti. He's getting low. He's not able to get away. Honor. Ashy gets the res onto Honor as he paid for his life. Boostio will take down Ashy. No mercy on the side for either team here. Nano onto Riptide to try and solve this point. They're going to put a lot of pressure into Antis. He's just going to be able to get away here. The Anna's able to keep him up just long enough. And so the ultimates, they're able to stall at the point with that Bob and with all their other ultimates, and they're able to hold on to the point. But it seems as though they had to use so many ultimates just to keep the point alive. Here comes the dive onto the high ground. Gets pushed away by all these CCs that they have. Bomb finds Riptide. He doesn't have a shield to be able to save himself. Hot Hands also takes on Unborn Horn. Man advantage for SS Nautilus. They're going to try to take this point here now. Boostio's going to have this Bob. See if he tries to use it to stall this point. Both Nox dead. It seems like a lost fight here. Bob onto the point, but he runs away from it. They're not able to stall with that. Flux comes in onto Soul, but he's going to dive. That's just not enough. Late ultimates being used on the side of TAMU White.
Looks like Boostio will go onto the McCree. I guess now is the time to go ahead and switch on that, as you know your ultimate economy is a little bit drained anyways. Riptide also switching over to the D.Va. SS Nautilus
They're going to have to figure something else out
on their
here
side,
quick.
though.
2 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Oh, here. And there's plenty of space being taken here by SS Nautilus. Their ball is going to force out Boostio, finds Honor. That's a very important kill, but it's able to get rezzed by Ashy. Juka in on the back line, but he just gets immediately pressured out. It's going to be very hard for this ball to be able to do anything other than just annoy the back line. Copy coming onto the D.Va here. Unborn Horn going to be trying to force a dive onto this high ground, not allow them to be able to get to Nox and Socks. Nano comes in and onto the Mercy of all heroes. Got him one of those more of a defensive thing, but the Mercy's going to pull out her pistols. They're going to go for the Battle Mercy here. D.Va Bomb into the back line, going to force everyone through this small corridor. Her Boostio managed to clean up 2 more. 3 for Boostio.
Cowboy paying some early dividends here for Boostio, as they're almost once again at a high noon. A minute 30 on the side of SS Nautilus to finish this one out. It looks like also a Winston instead of the ball.
Minute 20 to go here on the clock, as it looks like they're going to try to stage a dive onto this Annie here, starting from high ground. Honor takes it off him. Going to be trying to take away the attention. Boostio kills that one gamer. Or he didn't even have a chance. Wasn't even able to jump into there. There's got to be a bit of miscommunication there between Sully and that one. High noon onto this high ground. He gets eaten by Anti's kid. They're not out of this fight yet. Honor builds the rest of this copy as he kills Unborn Horn. Bomb into the back line. How's this Boostio really get away? Andy's kid kills Dragon Knight with a bomb. Honor finds Boostio, and now TAMU White is falling apart. What felt like a very easy early fight win after the kill on the Winston is just not go through.
They will have one more chance to contest here. And hopefully Juko will be able to build up that minefield, give them a little bit more chance of actually winning this fight and holding here.
30 seconds here. Hot hands with the high noon onto the high ground. Kills Unborn Horn. No more Torbjorn turn out. Boostio falling dangerously low after getting anti. Everyone's low on the side of TAMU White, but some of them will stay alive. Nox and Socks will keep most of that team alive, but Riptide's gonna get D-Mac before he can build up the rest of that. D.Va Bomb. 13 seconds, 12 seconds on the clock as they're able to complete Dorado.
Always love to see it on a map that can, play so defensively, getting to push all the way. SS Nautilus slowly but steadily made the progress, and now let's see how they do on the defense.
Lots of hero swaps there from both teams. It just felt as though both of them were constantly going back and forth, back and forth. You're going to play the Wrecking Ball, but then we're going to play the Winston D.Va, and we're going to dive your backline harder than you can dive our backline. After the swap to the Wrecking Ball was meant to be able to wrap around the double shield composition. Very heads-up choices coming from both teams here.
Once again, it's always nice to see those in-game adjustments and plenty of them being made by both sides, and hopefully that leads to a very back-and-forth match, and that's really tightly contested between both of these sides.
Looks like they're going to start out on the Winston D.Va on the side of SS Nautilus. This time opting for a Pharah Mercy instead of that Echo. Gonna see how this is gonna go here. Normally, Echoes are gonna be able to win that duel most of the time. Probably 8 out of 10 times the Echoes will be able to take the advantage there if both players are about the same skill level. Looks like TAMU White will match their team composition. Just the difference is 1 Echo and 1 Pharah. Honor's gonna really have to pull some heroics here. Put a lot of pressure on the Nox and Socks. Anti-nade connects on Riptide. Looks like it was just for a little bit of early chip damage. A set nade spot, if you will. Now see, Boostio's gonna have to look to take an engage on Honor. If Honor's given enough time and enough space, he's gonna be able to do a lot of damage to Sully's, or to Nox and Socks, excuse me. No dive yet. Free cart progress so far. There hasn't been much of an attempt, and here comes that one gamer. He's gonna be able to contest the cart for a little bit, and then the dive comes in out of the back line. Right. And counter dive looks like they're gonna fight over this high ground here, and that one is gonna be able to push Juka off. D.Va gets slept though. She has no jump checks and not gonna be able to get away. That's a D-Mac on the Anti's kid. Great sleep dart from Nox and Socks, being able to recognize when the D.Va is no longer able to DM that. But Honor is gonna find the kill on the Boostio. Oh, Rez comes in though. No mercy on the side of Honor. He's not going to be able to stay in very nicely. Lots of cart progress with very minimal attempt to be able to stop it here. All the fight's been happening away from the cart. That gives the favor to TAMU White.
Big play there by Riptide, able to keep Juka alive, which ended up to anti-skid, overextending a little bit.
Anti-skid eats the unborn Pulse Bomb. What? The entire fight's happening on the cart. Honor finds 3 with the barrage. They're going to be able to turn on this fight very quickly. Juka, late kill onto them. They do not choose to solve the baby diva this time.
What a way to come back in. That was some authority put onto that Honor with an excellent barrage. Able to just decimate TAMU White. And now TAMU White's going to have to come back in. Just restart from scratch here. Find something.
4 ultimates for both teams here. Looks as though SS Nautilus is going to stage from this right side here. Engage comes in onto the back line. And there's just going to be a ton of damage being put into Nox and Sox. But he's able to get away. Juka, half health, has that primal feat to stay alive. Dragon Knight uses that Mercy ultimate. Lots of damage still being put in that Pulse Bomb. Riptide meets it, eats that Pulse Bomb this time. Diva Bomb to the backline, finds Nox and Sox. Boostio's gonna trade though with Honor. 2 kills going in favor of TAMU White here. Rez comes on to Sully. We have a 5v5 situation. Hot Hand waits the Tracer duel onto Unborn Horde. Deer comes to engage onto the backline. Line of SS Nautilus. They've got to find a way to stay alive here. Boostio copying the Diva. That one gamer managed to find the Mercy. The entire time, that one is also just completely pressuring out the backline. And it's TAMU White, they're going to have to take a disengage and rethink this. Lots of damage being put in the supports. They're not given a chance to breathe or even think about it. Honor finds Nox. That's a very late kill. Going to force out the res very early. They're not going to have it for this engage here. But at least they'll be able to keep their nano. Boostio looking to take the engage onto Honor, but Honor! He's a 2-shot. I'm not going to be able to win that 1v1. But we've been talking about how the Boostio should be having a compositional advantage here, being able to take on that 1v1. But Honor is completely throwing that out the window. Riptide managed to remake. They've got to figure out something else here quick, because they're going to get staggered killed. Riptide, late kill into Hot Hands, but Unborn is going to get traded out. They're just taking such a long, lost fight here. 27 seconds, with almost half the map to go.
And only 1 ultimate to your name going in against 4 from SS Nautilus.
Honor takes a lot of damage early. Looks like Boostio's going to match him on this Pharah now. I'll try to put as much pressure onto this backline. They can start taking the engagement with Nano comes in onto that one, but he bonks his head when he jumps in. He's not able to go in. Nano from both sides. Honor finds 2. Boostio was able to trade it out though. Oh, no one's on the point though. 1 second to go. They're not able to touch. Nobody goes for the point. Complete miscommunication there.
And just a great job from SS Nautilus, able to just get up in the face of TAMU White and, you know, kind of help them forget about that, you know, forget about the main part of the game.
And that's going to be SS Nautilus. Just getting completely blown up.
Well, if you're SS Nautilus, that's definitely something that you wanted to see coming off a 3-0 loss, being able to, you know, bring it back here in the first map against TAMU White.
And hey, they need to make an adjustment really quickly. They had the compositional advantage there on their attack, but there just wasn't any real creativity. It just kind of felt like they were going through the motions there a little bit. Oh, our Echo, she just has to shoot at your Pharah. That's all she has to do. So long as she does that, it's fine. But the Echo didn't really put anything into it. They weren't using cooldowns creatively to be able to win these fights. And so Honor is just able to hit these direct shots so easily and is able to win that 1v1 despite being at a disadvantage.
Yeah, it felt a lot like the Echo was just giving Pharah all of the space in the world, taking pot shots from downtown, not really getting up close and personal and trying to, you know, force them to either, you know, back off a little bit or actually give them something to really be afraid of. And so Honor was just able to spam down TAMU White and got quite a few excellent ultimates off. Just what was a staunch defense for SS Nautilus.
Complete turnaround from yesterday's 3-0. That is a complete mental reset. They came into this game fresh, knowing that they were hungry to continue playing in this tournament. They want that title just as much as any other team here. And that map, it just felt as though they came more prepared.
So our next map will be a control map, and specifically that map is going to be Nepal, as that is what TAMU White has gone ahead and selected. So we will get to see Nepal for the first time in this tournament, which is great because we mentioned it in our little pre-game talk while we were waiting for the teams. It'll be nice to see Nepal. I'm not gonna lie. I like Nepal. I think it offers quite a bit of variety. You know, whether it's Sanctum or Village, there's so many different things that you can do. We can potentially even see more Pharah from Honor, just depending on what comes out. So it'll be a very exciting map. But if you're TAMU White, why did you pick this map?
Well, going in this map, first of all, this map is one of my favorites, dating all the way back to when I first picked up this game. This map has always been able to have some creative things going into it. TAMU White, they understand that they should have been able to take space more aggressively, and they just simply did not do that. When they go to this map, they understand that there's a lot of places that you can get really close to the other team without taking too much ship damage. There's an indoor room here, indoor room there, that they can hide, especially on this first map here in Inner Sanctum.
I just want to know how many environmental kills we're going to see, whether it's playing Ball or Lucio. I want to see a lot of off the edge action.
Looks like you might get your wish here. Dragon Knight locking in that Lucio. We saw him in that first map against Aquatic. He had that insane double boop on what was surely a lost map for TAMU White on King's Row, but they managed to pull it out from incredible heroic plays. And just as I say that, he swaps onto the Brigida. Lots of players in chat not a big fan of that hero, but you got to respect that she serves a very important role in this team composition, especially against that one gamer's Ball.
Round 1. Capture the objective.
Hello.
Lots of heavy core presence here in favor of TAMU White. Gonna be interesting to see how SS Nautilus is able to play into this. His Honor back on that ferry. Well, it's exemplary for it on Dorado. He's going to already start to put a lot of damage in. Slam comes into the entire team, but he's just going to get obliterated by the stuns. Unboard manages to kill Hot Hands and then just D-Mech Anti's kid. Honor gonna trade it out though. Managed to find a kill on a Dragon Knight. That shield is not going to be able to keep you alive for very long against all that Pharah shots.
You're going to move on to the point here and take it.
Control is going to go to TAMU White first here. 4% in counting. SS Nautilus has to be able to figure something out here. Here, Hot Hands, no longer on the Tracer. Gonna swap onto that hands though. Get a lot more of that long-range poke here. No turret for the next 10 seconds. Now is the time to be able to take this engage here. Last poke coming in. Oh! But then he gets the poop onto the Baptiste. No major source of healing. This Brigade is gonna have to find a way to keep them alive. 43% to that rally. Here comes the engage though. Flashbang onto Honor, but it doesn't matter. Honor does just go ahead and embarrass your entire team in the back line. Doesn't get punished for it. The res is there to keep her alive. 35% is where they're gonna stop here for TAMU White.
SS Nautilus doing a good job of not really letting TAMU White get on a roll here, only ceding 35% of control.
Very quick turnaround. They understood. We've destroyed the turret. They no longer have that 7th player. So we're going to take the engage now. Force all these cooldowns out of them. Really put the pressure onto them. Control is going to come out onto this left side high ground. Lots of side angles here. That one gamer also matching on the Orisa. Double shield here in favor of SS Nautilus. But that Pharah is just going to do so much damage to these non-player characters. High Noon coming out, finds Honor. Not sure that's in a resible position. I think she fell over the well. Window coming out, gonna burn through that shield very quickly. That one gamer's in a lot of trouble. But Hot Hands kills the Brigida, not able to get that rally off in time. It's a 1-for-1 trade. 5v5 on the point. Hot Hands finds the second, finds the third. Hot Hands completely turning around this fight in favor of SS Nautilus. There's a brutal stagger onto Noxon stock. They have to know he doesn't have his ultimate, and he doesn't manage to build any of it. Gotta wonder what was going on there.
SS Nautilus able to build up quite the bevy of ultimates there, just spamming into TAMU White as TAMU White not really moving at all. They're just getting here and sitting. And
Sigma ult coming in, connects on 5. That's going to put everybody extremely low on the side of TAMU White. Immortality keeps some of them alive for long, but not for very long. Honor kills Boostio, Hot Hands kills Juka, and they've got to reset now. It's 15% left to go in this map.
Honor thinking about the barrage there, thought better of it. Probably a good choice. You can, save that for when they come around to the point.
Juka onto the ball to try and stall at this point. Not very many ultimates. They're going to have to use Unborn Horns, Molten Core. Honor finds Dragon Knight, but he gets thrown out of it right away. That's going to be a trade 1-for-1. No Mercy Res coming in. Transcendence on the point to be able to cancel out that Torment ultimate. Anti-Skid finds the kill. Boostio trades out with Hot Hands. No hands up for this map. Almost no damage now in favor. They're going to put the point. 99% in favor of SS Nautilus, but here comes TAMU White. Late kills coming in favor of TAMU White. They're going to be able to turn this around here. Honor finds and knocks and sucks off the point again. That's a second environmental kill for this Pharaoh. And they're going to be able to turn this entire map around. They understood that that map was well out of reach when they were down so many, so they quickly reconvene, build up that support ultimate, stay alive, and turn it around.
Score 1-0.
SS Nautilus going up 1-0 here, looking to take a 2-0 lead overall over TAMU White. And looks like we're going here to Village. Once again, potentially going to see maybe more of that Pharah. It doesn't look like it initially. Honor.
I think we're going to see a lot of symmetric comps coming out.
This good old Sim May rush from SS Nautilus. And a slightly different flavor with the McCree on the side of TAMU White, but looks like we're going to
I wonder if this Symmetra is going to swap onto a May here. But then why take the teleporter at all? Because then she's just so much slower. They're both going to leave spawn on this Symmetra here. They're both going to try to race to this point. Like, gonna see how much more value this May provides over her Boostio's McCree. Teleporter comes in first for SS Nautilus, as they're gonna gain the point first. Cannot push into this with their May wall there. Juka's shield goes down immediately. Both teams falling dangerously low. They're gonna have to take a disengage here and reconvene on their cooldowns. As I say that, Sully finds the kill into Unborn Horn. No more Symmetra means there's a major source of damage gone from the side of TAMU White. SS Nautilus is going to be the one from the cap point. Maywall doesn't capture any. They're going to have to disengage here. Here comes the engage. SS Nautilus taking as much space as they can. Not letting them breathe. We saw this happen yesterday on King's Row a lot. Kind of taking a page out of that book. Ultimates, looking about even. Both teams nearing all their ultimates. But Ashy with a slight advantage on that beat. Window coming out early from Sully, but does not manage to find anything. They just teleport away from it. No thank you, sir. We don't want that extra damage. Window coming in on the side of TAMU White. They're going to try to put as much pressure in. Make them use their cooldowns now. Flashbang coming onto that one gamer. They're not able to keep up. Upward Horn kills Honor. There goes a big source of damage. The May is going to have to find a way to make up for it. Big shatter. That's going to be able to secure this team fight and the point for TAMU White. Looks like Hot Hand's going to be able to stall at this point for a little bit longer. This May is very resilient. 52% is going to be the stopping point.
So you've got a little bit breathing room here if you're TAMU White, but given how well SS Nautilus has played so far, I don't think you really want to cede anything at all. Especially given that they're coming in with 4 ultimates.
This beat is going to have to be very big. Hey, look to see if Honor can cut off half the team from this beat with this wall here. Here comes the wall, splitting down the middle of the payload with a bomb right in the middle. Does not connect on any, but that shield's gonna be gone in front of this window. 6-man shatter! Complete disarray happening in favor of SS Nautilus. Looks like they're gonna also be able to get a stall with their Diva. 38, 39. 39% is where it's gonna end, but they had to use all of their ultimates to take it.
Still though, that was quite the fat shatter from that one gamer. You don't get to see that sort of stuff, very often. It's always nice when you're able to land that. So that one gamer probably feeling pretty good right about that.
All of our main tanks here in the tournament have shown great prowess on this Reinhardt with their Shatter. Let's see if Juka can match what that one gamer did the first time. This window is going to be what they can use to break this shield. Or maybe they decide they're going to go in with this bomb Shatter combo. 80% ain't counting. They've got to be able to figure something else here quick. It looks like they're going to teleport in. Bomb coming in! But it gets blocked up by the Maywall. They're able to conserve the rest of that shield. Wall comes out. They're going to block out TAMU for able to touch. Big Shatter coming in, connects onto the Diva and the Lucio. Oh, that's going to be a DMAC. That's going to be the end of an Immortality, and they're going to be able to take the point. 91% for SS Nautilus. But 2 late kills. They're going to take an engagement. Wait here. Shatter comes in. That's 4! That one gamer with another impressive Shatter.
That might just seal the
Riptide
map.
gonna have to stay alive here. She's gonna have to be the one that targets the point. But not able to get DMAC and gonna get bullied. Might not be able to touch the point. And she does get it. Does not get to 97% though. Someone else needs to touch. This Reinhardt needs to touch. It gives them more time. Juka in a lot of danger. Getting just abused. Mailed onto the point. Not gonna be able to stay alive for very long on that. Here comes the rest of the team though. They're gonna have to make some magic happen. And no ultimates in favor. Anti's kick and take it on board. That one gamer finds Nox and Socks. Socks ball in. And Riptide's gonna have to find something. Boostia, but was not able to stay alive. Sully's the only damaged player. And that's gonna be it. SS Nautilus takes map number 2.
And once again looking really dominant while doing so. Play of the game here. Obviously going to be that one gamer. A couple of humongous shatters. I'm honestly kind of speechless. You know, what a complete domination there. Just from the whole side. And it's always fun to see in Rush. Really some good stuff by SS Nautilus. TAMU White, though, you're one map away from being out of the tournament.
For a while there, it seemed like Honor was just everything that they were putting the resources into. His Pharah was absolutely massive on Dorado. And again, during that first point of Nepal, again, just incredible play. But that one gamer proving that there is talent at every single level of this SS Nautilus team, just completely turning around fights that were unwinnable for SS Nautilus. It looks like we're going to be getting a fan favorite here. King's Row is going to be our 3rd map here. Winner go home for TAMU White. Right, someone needs to be a hero. Yesterday, it was Juka on this exact same map with that flank shatter. We'll see if SS Nautilus was able to fully prepare for the kinds of shenanigans that we saw yesterday.
I think we've seen King's Row in all of our matches so far. Good old 3 for 3, and I'm not gonna cry if that continues. That's for sure. So it looks like
we're gonna get a swap here. It'll be SS Nautilus this time in blue, TAMU White in red. Or is that right? Is that right? Excuse me, other way around. TAMU White in blue, SS Nautilus in red.
Yeah, SS Nautilus looks like they will be. Looks like we're still getting ready here, but SS Nautilus, I believe, will go ahead and attack first.
Bit of a pause being asked here from the side of SS Nautilus. Looks like they're gonna have some technical difficulties going on for Honor. Maybe some biological difficulties, if you will.
Always got to have that bathroom break, mid. After map 2, that's generally when things, start to hit whatever you drink to get ready for the pre-game, whether it's an energy drink or just something to stay hydrated. At least when I
both
used
times
to scrim.
Both other games that we cast here tonight, I had to pee by the time the 3rd map came up both times. As you can imagine, my throat's getting very dry from all of this yelling I'm having to do.
Absolutely, gotta stay. Gotta keep that voice box soothed, the throat soothed. And also got to stay hydrated as well. Now, if you're watching this right now, you got a little drink next to you. Drink up, stay hydrated. Why not?
Yes, drink water, friends. I know.
Water.
In the words of some pretty famous streamers, waters they think it's kind of gross, but trust me, it keeps you alive. Drink it.
Water I think really is the true adult drink. When you're a kid, it's like juice and milk and pop and soda and all that stuff's great. And then when you start to feel older, it's like, oh, surely alcohol will be great. But alas, in the end, water always seems to just hit that extra gear. And speaking of extra gears, looks like we are heading into Kings Row right as we speak, kicking it into another notch. And let's see if TAMU White can do just that. What do you have to do if you're TAMU White here?
Well, they need to completely overhaul their thinking here. They've been going into every single fight thinking that they understand what ultimates they have and what the ultimates the other team has. But yet we see several ultimates being used on the side of SS Nautilus that single-handedly win fights. Whether it's Unborn Horn with these Mayolds, or whether it's Honor with these Mayolds or Barrages, or that one gamer hitting just insane shatters. That's really been the difference here. Just ultimate usage has just been top-notch on the side of SS Nautilus.
That's definitely something you want to see continue for SS Nautilus. If you are wanting to close this this match out right here, right now, definitely don't want to have TAMU White lingering anymore. Especially given how close you were to potentially playing really well on this map in your last match.
Looks like we're going to see a mirror match here. Or haven't seen a mirror match yet this fight. Walls come up from both sides, but the red one gets dropped right away. Hey, Honor finds the kill onto Unborn Horn, and they're going to take this chance to move on to the point right away. Juka, under a lot of pressure, he's going to have to hide away into that hotel. Charging out. They're going to have to get out here if they want to have a chance to recontest. As both teams trade out their mortality field, but Hot Hands finds the kill on the Boosteel.
Great focusing of damage here from SS Nautilus to start things off.
Juka, late kill on the Juka. What was he thinking? Pushing on to that point that they were clearly not going to recontest. 5 minutes, 45 seconds of blistering time in favor of SS Nautilus.
And they're going to just continue pushing the envelope here, getting a kill on the Nox and Sox. And let's see, are they going to push into the third point? Not quite.
We saw this yesterday. The team that took as much physical space as they could take were constantly winning on these attacks.
And that's really what you have to do on Kings Row, where things can be very heavy damage-wise. You want to win these fights decisively and build those ultimates so that you don't have to rely on just the the early entries in the mid games to get you
windows coming up from both sides of the high noon onto the high ground. Very dangerous, but that DM's able to keep him alive. He's able to kill Juka. That one gamer has a shatter here, looking for it. 92% to it. Take as much space as you can. They've got to respect this if you're TAMU White.
Caleb will continue to roll through here. It's just a great job of maintaining the space.
That's TAMU White. They understand when they're down their main tank, they cannot take a fight there. So they can immediately disengage, and they're able to get another fight here onto this point, too. 4 minutes, 39 seconds left on the clock. Lots of damage being put into the tank later. Unborn Horn gets headshot once. Uses his mail. Oh, no. The Reinhardt is going to get frozen on the point. Juka in a lot of danger, but suddenly kills Boosteel. That one gives him Dragon Knight, and it's starting to fall apart here. TAMU White's in a lot of pressure. Juka goes down. That one gamer finding yet another one on just completely enforcing where his team gets to play.
This SS Nautilus offense is like walking into a meat grinder if you're TAMU White. You just start to walk and get absolutely shredded to bits.
And they didn't have to use very many ultimates. They got away with that when only using a Mayo. But now, only 5 ultimates on the side of both teams here. Nox and Sox very slow to build up the rest of this window here. Sully has a major advantage on the ultimate charge. Diva Bomb coming into the back line. Fine. Kills Juka! Juka's unable to shield that, and that one gamer's gonna get frozen up. Immortality's able to keep him alive, beat, and as an encouragement, high noons from both sides. Riptide's gonna get right in the middle of that. And he's gonna pay for it with his mech, but he's gonna use the Diva Bomb to remech here. Sully finds Riptide, not able to get back into his mech here. But no main take on the side for SS Nautilus. Honor kills Nox. They're gonna continue to take space. They don't care that their main take is dead. They're gonna continue to take space. Mail's onto the point. Juka's gonna get frozen up and doesn't able to get that shatter off. Lucio on the point gets the. Oh, he's not able to get the beat off. Booped up by the opposing Lucio and then taken out by Hot Hands. That's incredible support play. Nox and Sox gonna get frozen up. Lucio only one on the point. Falls down to low health. Is not able to recall in time. High noon on the side. No, Diva might be able to eat it. But here comes the reinforcement of TAMU White. They're going to look to stall at this point. 4 minutes and 19 seconds count. 1 meter to go. Riptide gets taken out, gets the pinned off, and they're not able to touch. 4 minutes, 14 seconds of brutally fast time bank. The fastest that we've seen here in this tournament.
Ouch.
To 3.
I mean, I'm not sure what else you can really say about that. Just dominant performance from SS Nautilus. Consistently just pedal to the metal and not letting up on TAMU White. And TAMU White was just not able to find anything. None of their ultimates were able to come up with any big kills. And even if SS Nautilus was down, they understood that they were just on. They had such momentum that they just continued to win fights and just keep that pressure. And TAMU White just didn't have any answers.
If you're TAMU White right here, you need to remove this mental blocker that's in front of you here. They are completely boomed. They had such an incredible map on Friday against Aquatic, and now they, after losing in a heartbreaking fashion, they need to be able to completely flip their mental here.
Incoming in 10 seconds.
Looks like we will be getting another mirror match here.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Looks like Honor's gonna May-wall themselves up to the Mondada statue. Be interested to see if they keep this position here. Their feet can stick out there. The offense can see you if you stand there. And Honor's gonna May-wall Hot Hands up there too.
5.
Now this is the kind of creative play that they definitely were looking for earlier in this Friday.
Defend objective A.
Both TPS are getting a hiding. I don't know if Riptide sees them. I don't think anyone saw them go up there. Oh, but Riptide managed to push them away. The wall comes in on Juka. Juka's gonna eat a lot of damage. The Immortality's able to save him, but not for long. He's just barely making away. No! Honor finds the kill onto him. Ice Wall coming out. They're gonna have to quickly disengage and rethink what's going on here.
So much focus fire going on to Juka all the time. It's got to be a hard knock life if you're a main tank right about now.
SS Nautilus looks like they're just having so much fun playing this game right now. Just enforcing everything that they want to do onto TAMU White. Looks like they're going to rotate around the statue this time. Maywall comes out early, does not block off anyone. Honor on a bit of a flank. Shattered does not connect on any, but does force out the Immortality field. Window coming out. It's going to force him to play back. No Immortality field on both sides. Windows traded out. Juka gets the Fire Strike onto Honor. Man advantage for TAMU White. Did they push directly on this point here? Hot Hands gets split out. Riptide's to be able to find the kill onto them. And that's going to be tick 1 going. They're going to have to get away now. 2 minutes, 50 seconds.
TAMU White letting them live a little bit here. It'll be very interesting to see. I don't think they'll try to recontest, but they SS Nautilus will go ahead and hold here at this choke.
5 minutes and 5 seconds. Still a healthy time bank, but they still have a lot of ground to make up. That Maywall shuts down that High Noon. They're going to continue to push for the envelope, though. Boostio kills that one gamer. Shatter comes in, connects on 3. Boostio going to clean up that Shatter. Hot Hands down. Ashy manages to kill Juka. He charged right into the enemy team there and was unable to keep himself alive. Boostio taken down by Honor after killing Auntie's kid.
Once again, it looks like TAMU White on the back foot even after they won that fight, not able to take all of the space. And let's see if SS Nautilus will be able to punish them for their lack, or rather inability, to be aggressive.
4 minutes and 27 seconds here to capture the rest of King's Row. Oh, payload being moved by almost the entirety of TAMU White. All right, they're going to look to take a straight up 6v6 engage. Hot Hands was a bit on the flank there. Here comes the Diva Bomb in with the Maywall. That's going to force the remake on Auntie's kid. Auntie's kid finds Juka with the bomb! Unable to block that bomb. We've been seeing Diva Bombs constantly taking down on Reinhardt this entire tournament. Unborn Hero, unable to create some heroics onto Hot Hands. And that's going to be a fight win going in favor of SS Nautilus. 5 ultimates on the side of SS Nautilus. Only this May ult and close to this Lucio ult on the side of TAMU White. They're going to have to get creative here if they want to be able to overcome this huge deficit.
For SS Nautilus, gotta be careful of using all of those ultimates in this fight.
Juka somehow kills Auntie's kid. No Diva for this fight. Mayo comes in on the backline here. Riptide finds another one. Despite all of these ultimates, they use 3 ultimates, but it's a losing fight. Hot Hands kills, knocks the sock. Oh my goodness, 3 ultimates straight up for 1, but the favor goes to TAMU White. And now a complete game changer. Now, TAMU White with the ultimate advantage here. They're gonna have 3 ultimates to the 2 on the side of SS Nautilus.
That D-Mech
3 minutes to go.
That D-Mech of Anti-Skid towards the end of that last fight ended up paying large dividends there for TAMU White.
Looks like early engage coming in here. They're not going to let them take any space for free. That one gamer posting up right here around this corner. Has the Shatter versus Juka's Shatter. See which one of these rounds can get more value out of the Shatter. Gets completely blocked by Juka. And blows up that one gamer. Auntie's kid managed to trade him out. Reinhardt for Reinhardt. No immortalities on either side. Freeze coming in, but Unborn Horn dies. Hot Hands finds the kill on him too. They're gonna have to quickly disengage here. Bustio barely hiding behind that small little high ground there. He's able to stay alive. But now, no ultimates now for SS Nautilus. They're close to that Diva Bomb, but not quite there. 3 minutes, 45 seconds. Not enough time, as much time bake, but they can still finish this map with some on the clock. Bustio getting sped in with that High Noon, breaks the Reinhardt field. Juka now has a chance to get the Shatter in. Shatter connects on 3 with the window right there. Is not able to keep them alive, but that lamp managed to save Honor, but not that tank line. Window from the side of Sully with the High Noon on the other side. They've got to be able to get away from those quickly. Diva Bomb into the backline. There's no shield able to prevent that. Bustio, or Honor, able to save himself with his ice block. 2 late kills. Here comes the Mei ult onto the backline. They freeze 2. The Mei ult kills 2 players. Not very often you see like getting the kill, but Unborn Horn with 2 kills. That's the kind of play you need if you want to be able to turn around King's Row here. Not much space left to go. 6 meters left, and Ashy is going to be the first one to touch. That's getting close to that beat. Has to stay alive. Diva Bomb into the backline. Gonna break the immortality field. Beat is now online for both teams. Ashy uses his second. More health for his team going into it. But a window coming is going to be able to get that very quickly. Bustio kills Anti-Kid. And they're just going to be able to stall at this point here.
Need to make some strong calls.
Big boof from Dragon Knight. Another big boof in King's Row for Dragon Knight. He is just all over this map. Bustio finds the second and a third. And that's going to be TAMU White finishing off this map. 2 minutes to 3 minutes 51 seconds.
So not quite as dominant as SS Nautilus's attack round, but it certainly gives you a little bit of confidence, knowing that you were able to push, get some pretty decent time bank, and bring down SS Nautilus's time bank. As you know, if both teams are over 2 minutes, that will be reduced till the team with the lowest time bank has 2 minutes, just to help matches be a little bit shorter. So 2 minutes here for TAMU White, 3 minutes and 51 seconds for SS Nautilus, and TAMU White will once again be on the attack and hopefully continue that momentum.
It seemed as though they were able to remove that momentum blocker. They looked completely boomed after their first push onto point 1, but somebody in their comms had to have gotten to them. They had to have figured out the key, and they are back to having some fun Overwatch. Looks like we're going to see a Hanzo this time for SS Nautilus. No more Cowboy.
Fascinating. Also seeing Widow here from Bustio. Don't know if this will just be, try to get a quick pick out of spawn and then switch to something else, or, oh, never mind. Cowboy it is for Bustio once again, so it's going to be mostly Ymir, just with that slight DPS difference.
2 minutes to complete King's Row here. Wall comes out, manages to split off Riptide and Unborn, but they're able to keep themselves alive. Now they're going to take an engage here. No Mei Wall for Honor in this fight. They're going to take a really quick engage, not caring whether or not Unborn has that Mei Wall. Looks like they're just going to hide around the statue here. Remember, TAMU White needs to be the one to engage here, and the wall comes in onto that one gamer. He's not able to get away. A lamp comes in to save him. And Juka gets frozen up. Juka goes down. What felt like a very quick engagement by TAMU White, then completely gets flipped the other way around.
Use of that immortality field early from Nox and Sox. A pick from Unborn Horn. That's going to be
late
huge.
Kill onto the Baptiste. Window on the side of TAMU White. There's nothing to be able to prevent this on the side of SS Nautilus. They've got to take a quick engage here. Window gets used very early, but they're not able to get any value out of it.
They just run right past it.
Looks like Nox and Sox is going to use it for his healing capabilities, but Dragon's coming in, kills Dragon Knight, is unable to get even close to that beat. Juka able to kill that one gamer, but it just feels like it's much too late. Hot Hands in the backline, missing a few shots on the Nox and Sox, but he manages to find a glimpse to kill. Riptide finally onto this Hanzo here. Trying for him to get more damage. Riptide's going to get staggered out here.
That's unfortunate, but that was a big Dragons from Hot Hands there, just kind of splitting things off, finding Dragon Knight as well. and just really kind of taking the wind out of TAMU's sails.
Lots of ultimates on the side of both teams here. Both teams have their tank ultimates. Both teams have a DPS ultimate. But those supports ultimates on the side of SS Nautilus, they're going to have some heroics. We saw Juka pull out the heroic shatter on the last time they played King's Row. Candy's pulling off again. Early window, that's going to stall at the point a little bit. They only have 9 seconds to get there. 51% is not enough for them here. They got to take more. They're going to speed onto the point. Onboard's going to get there, but Juka's completely split up here. Their ultimate's being invested first. High noon coming up from Boostio. Gonna be able to have something by 2. They are now even. And onto the point here. Diva bomb onto the point. Riptide looking to get more with the mid. And he does. He teammates Angie's kid. And Angie's kid, the baby diva into the background. Very little go. But on board of Fuzzle. He falls to Angie's kid. That baby diva's very tough. Juka with the shatter onto that one. Gamer falling low. But it's not enough. Riptide and Dragonite, the only ones on the point here. They've got to find something now. Lucio able to stall it out on this point. And now the Baptiste comes back too. Dragon onto the point is gonna kill Dragonite again. Dragonite gets taken out twice by that Hanzo arrow.
Unfortunately for TAMU White there, that last attack, they waited. It was a great window to force them to wait. However, you know, as soon as they came in, they needed, I think, to speed a little bit more aggressively and maybe use an ultimate, maybe like a Diva Bomb to engage and just kind of go all in on that. And really try to force SS Nautilus to make mistakes and force them to be unable to use their ultimates. As they were approaching the point, Diva Bomb came out from SS Nautilus, caused them to have to wait a little bit more, and then things just kind of started firing off from both sides. And at that point, you know, you've kind of lost any potential advantage you could have generated as you're just in the mid-fight and hoping that your ultimates are going to be better as opposed to having a more aggressive, coordinated push there for TAMU White.
Victory mark has been set. 55.9% is all that stands between SS Nautilus and a crack at the next round of this tournament series. TAMU White, they've got to pull out some heroics if they want to even stand a chance at a reverse sweep here. Looks like Auntie's kid is going to come out on that Zarya. They feel as though they just need to win one fight. They're going to be looking to do it with this Grav Dragon here.
3, 2, 1.
You know, playing for the long game here, definitely can respect that.
Widow shot on the Riptide. Doesn't find anything though. Oh, and it looks like he's going to swap onto a Mei. That one gamer able to take a lot of space, pushes right up to the corner of the point for free without taking much damage. Ice Wall isn't able to connect anyone off there. Aaron, they're going to push right in. Ice Wall doesn't find anything. Lamp used very early from Scully, but hot hand. That's the nasty kill onto Unborn Horn. The coach getting a taste of his own medicine there. Players are going to let him know for that after the match. Riptide, the only thing stalling at this point here, close to losing his mech, but he's able to stay alive just barely. Dragonite, next one to go down. Angie's kid completely beams him down. Boostio using the window is able to kill that one gamer. And they're trading blood for bolt. Boostio finds the second, but he's going to go down. Oh, no heroics this time from Boostio. Riptide is going to be the last one to touch, and he isn't able to do it. That's the end of our round. SS Nautilus moving on to the next round. We'll see them next week.
And they did it from going 3-0, or for being 3-0'd rather, to, you know, being the ones actually authoring that 3-0 victory. But TAMU White is unfortunately going to be eliminated from the tournament. But they certainly did have, I think, quite a showing here, and they showed that they definitely have quite a bit of skill on this team. So definitely not a complete loss. I do think they did themselves, you know, pretty well.
Yeah, just complete mental reset from yesterday's booming that they took. And they came into this one. TAMU White looked incredible in their first map. And SS Nautilus just completely ignored it. Said, we don't care who you are. We're going to come and we're going to take the aggression here. And you got to hand it to SS Nautilus. They had that map completely in the bag, it felt like, for most of King's Row. But you got to hand it to TAMU White. They showed up in this tournament. They looked very good in that first round, and they had some moments of flashiness here in this one too.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, they gave themselves, I'd say, at least a fighting chance there. You know, seeing as they had ceded such a dominant attack to SS Nautilus, and they were able to fight back and get their own respective time bank, but unfortunately they just weren't able to get first point, and ultimately pull anything out of the bag.
I mean, once they were onto that brawl composition, it just looked like they were so comfortable with the way that they were playing their game. They understood all the dynamics of how to play that composition. It's kind of felt a little sloppy there in that last fight, but I feel as though that's just the jitters of knowing that you're going to be able to move on to the next round.
And speaking of next round, let's go ahead and take a look at our bracket. SS Nautilus moving on into the losers round 2, facing the loser of Aquatic and Celestial Wind. TAMU White will bow out of the tourney. So schedule-wise, we will pick up this once again next week. Friday will be our semifinals match, so that will be Aquatic Celestial Wind. Winner will go to the grand finals, which will be played on Sunday, and then Saturday we will have our second losers round match, and that will be against Nautilus and whoever loses out of the semifinals. So definitely a lot of Overwatch here at the Encore Fall Mini-Tourney yet to come. But from what we've seen so far, I think we've seen a really good exhibition from both sides, or from really all of these teams, and we've been able to see a lot of these teams on different compositions. I think yesterday we saw a lot more dive. Today was a little bit more rush heavy, I feel. So it's really good to see a lot of this balance between compositions and seeing the different play styles and how well these teams execute. And today, SS Nautilus was looking fantastic on that rush, just constantly pushing the envelope, dictating the tempo, taking a lot of space. And you could really kind of tell the difference between, looking at the attack rounds from both sides on King's Row. And TAMU White, even though they had an advantage, they weren't nearly as quick. For example, when SS Nautilus's Mei went down, that is literally a free fight. You don't have to worry about wall. You don't have to worry about that freeze. You can just, put all of your resources into your Rhine and just charge into the enemy team and decimate them. However, it just took them a while to get around the statue, to get on to the point, and SS Nautilus did a good job of just backing off enough to where TAMU White didn't feel comfortable chasing after them anymore, even though they did have those advantages. Where on the flip side, SS Nautilus just did not care. They were coming after you. They're going to chase you to your spawn if they had to. And I really think that proved to be such a big deciding factor of that last map and just the series as a whole.
I just felt like they just came in with all the swagger. They knew as far as they could push every single fight, and they took as much space as they knew they could, and then some. They just pushed TAMU White to the brink, and as a result, they're moving on to our next round. And if I'm SS Nautilus, whether that's on Saturday night or on Sunday night, I want to get another crack at Celestial Wind. They know that they are a much better team than they looked yesterday.
And that is the thing as well, as we had, I think, two different players? I think two that just changed names, and then we had two that were actually different, if I remember correctly. And so that can make a world of a difference. And it also, on TAMU White's side, not having your DPS player and having to have somebody else come in for that could have greatly affected them. As we said, they looked really good against Aquatic. But, just that one player, two player difference can just be a huge factor. So it'll be very interesting to see if SS Nautilus can continue to bring this dominance to whoever meets them in the losers round next week.
Yeah, very well done from SS Nautilus. I want to go and highlight my personal player of the match. I've got to give it to that one gamer. Reinhardt was incredible. Honor kind of took over on Dorado a lot, but as soon as they hit those maps where they're playing Reinhardt, that one gamer was completely ferocious, not allowing anyone on TAMU White to get anywhere close to any semblance of a recontest anywhere. And just the amount of players earth shattered, I personally couldn't keep count, but it felt like every single time he shattered, he was hitting 4, 5, even 6 players.
Yeah, it'd definitely be interesting to go back and count and see how many Earth Shatter stuns that they were able to have. It just felt that they were consistently landing huge shatters, every fight, every other fight, whether it was on Nepal or King's Row, just huge plays from that one gamer. So I would agree with you. Definite big player of the match there. And also, even when they weren't getting great shatters. They were constantly leading the charge and setting that tone. A lot of that will come from your main tank charging forward, everybody just putting your resources into the Ryan. And Ryan can be such a powerful hero when you were really enabling them, just allowing them to swing free, generate ultimate charge, and really put a lot of pressure on the opposing tank line. Because as you know, from experience as a tank, you know, if you're getting battered and bruised and you just don't feel that you're able to stay alive or swing your hammer or do anything, and you know you can't get to your spots, it's just not a fun time at all, and it kind of really sets you off. So that one gamer did an amazing job of landing key ultimates, dictating tempo, and really just being an absolute bully out there.
Yeah, which gamer? That one gamer. That's
gamer.
which one it was. I mean, we talk about the main tank experience, about having all the coolness from the other team being put into you. What if you just completely push through all that? And it doesn't matter if you get flashbang. It doesn't matter if you get frozen up. You're still able to punish every single player on that other team. Extremely well done.
All right, so I think that just about wraps it up for today. Gorbacheese, is there anything else that you would like to comment on before we sign off for the night?
Hey, we're getting into the shorter end of this tournament here. The first team has been eliminated. We've got 3 matches left to go. Oh, a lot of things can change from here until next week on Sunday. And hey, I hope you enjoyed watching football today, fans out there. Skol Vikings. Skol Vikings.
I'm not feeling too great as my Chargers kind of got decimated, but you know what? Hey, they're still having a good year so far. But as always, thank you guys for coming out, watching, supporting Encore Overwatch, and especially supporting our players. We really, really love giving an opportunity for these teams to be able to showcase their talents, and there's quite a bit of talent here. I think that is fair to say, given all the plays we saw. And I really don't think I could have asked for a better first week. We had a great match on Friday, and then some dominant outings yesterday and today from Celestial Wind and SS Nautilus. And it was good to see SS Nautilus kind of pick things back up, even though they were kind of roughed up a little bit. And it'll be very interesting. Now we'll have a week. Teams will be able to view replay codes, have some scrims, practice on some of the map pool maps that we've got. And so it'll be very interesting to see how things kind of adjust going into the final weekend and the the semifinals, losers round 2, and those finals overall. And I'm really excited to see what happens, especially given some of the Celestial Winds exquisite maybe compositions. I don't know if that's the word I want to use, but seeing if any other teams can potentially counter those. So it'll be a good week overall. Hopefully the teams will be able to get some good practice. But for Gorbacheese, I'm Ariel. We are going to sign off for the night. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and have a great rest of your weekend evening. And hopefully the week treats you well. We'll see you Friday, 8 p.m. Hope to see you there.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicles.